Hi, this is Stacia, and tonight I played another training game on chess.com. And so I'm at my personal best right now for chess.com. I recently broke 1700, so I'm going to continue playing and see if I can get to 1800. You know, I'll probably hit a wall at some point, but I do feel my chess is better though, so I think there's a chance. If I didn't study all the time, I would probably just, you know, relax 1700, but I study a lot. Okay. All right. Well, let's look at this game, okay? I was actually hoping for 1d4 because I'm preparing a new repertoire against that. But I got 1c4. So this is the English opening, and against this, I like the move e5. It's the most principled move. We're saying, okay, you don't want to put a pawn in the center? Like, fine, I will. You know, and it's got to be objectively the best move. And now g3. I was a little bit out of book already. I'm used to the move knight c3, in which case I play like this. Bishop to b4, and I am going to take the knight and put all my pawns on dark squares. Even f6, breaking my own rule. It's actually Ben Feingold's rule, but it became my rule too. All right. So g3, and against this, my general plan is to go c6 and d5 and play in the center and play with the light squares, even intending e5, just to shut out the light square bishop that inevitably will appear on the g2 square after a move like g3. So here I did play c6. He went bishop to g2. And I am going to open the opening book now because I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I knew the ideas, but not the specific moves. So it says knight f6. That is indeed what I played because this fits in with my plan. Those light squares are now guarded by a knight. Now knight c3 was played. Okay, and I see now that d5 is very strong for black, and it equalizes the game. I thought about playing this move, but you know, I guess the benefit of this move is that now the ideal square c6 is available for my knight. And after something like queen b3, attacking this a third time. This is what I didn't know. I could actually play knight c6 and sack it. Wow, really? Or I could play d4. Sacking this. Wow, this is a pawn sacrifice line. I have to play here and defend the knight. Or the rook, I mean. Knight d5. Wow, this gets surprisingly crazy. I wasn't aware of this at all. But I kind of like it. These are the kind of lines that I love in the opening because I study the opening and I memorize stuff, and my opponents oftentimes don't know what they're doing. So that is something that I will definitely take note of. I was not aware of this at all. The other move was knight to c6, which is also a sacrifice. I mean, they could take, right? It says play knight d4 against this. Oh, we attack the queen? Okay, they take. We take with the queen. Scanning the board. What is going on here? Queen d3 could be played. Queen d3? Why on earth would you play that, though? That's what the computer wants. I would want to develop here. Like, let's just develop. Oh, you really can't do this, can you? The queen has to move. That's why queen d3, but I like this better, though. Why not queen d1? And now it says bishop f5, and black has an advantage. Ooh, what a nasty threat that is. Okay, and after this, then we go rook c8. And yeah, I like black's development here. I like black's knight. I like black's activity. We'll get this out somewhere, probably check, and then I could play this position. Computer says black is slightly better. Yeah, interesting. So we are down a pawn though, right? We are down a pawn, but this is a very legitimate gambit. Very interesting. Okay, so we learned something new in the opening. You guys, if you watch my videos, you know that I love to learn something in the opening and then only move on. So I played this move. Next time I might go d5. I played here. And yeah, I'm thinking about actually taking the knight. If you aren't thinking that, then you shouldn't play this move, because there's no pin or anything. I just want more control over the light squares that the knight is guarding. Queen c2, I was kind of sad to see that. But I think here, I was very tempted to go d5. Let's see if I did. I did. Okay. Yeah, and a3. So I've been saying this a lot in my videos lately, but that's kind of a lack of foundation to me. Like, white should realize that I kind of want to take the knight. You know what I mean? And just leave the tension. And I even think they could play this way. Like, this makes me nervous because I'm not developed either. And I don't think I would recommend taking the pawn necessarily, but maybe they could do something like queen a4 check. I have to go knight c6. Actually, the computer likes black here. Okay, so never mind. Yeah, it's very curious to me the computer wants to do this. You would have to play this with extreme caution. I think after knight takes, bishop takes. So the point must be, it must be queen a4 check, right? Like, okay, I take this, I'm attacking the rook. Oh, I missed this. You can't abandon. You're not castled, so the bishop actually hangs. Wow. Yeah, this opening's way more violent than I thought. But you know what? I'm not that surprised, because when you play moves like c6 and d5, looking to open the game before you're castled, there's going to be craziness. So now I'm going to study this now. That's what I've decided. Okay. Okay, let's continue with the game. Sorry about that. I hope you guys enjoy openings like I do. But if not, hopefully you skipped ahead. Okay, queen c2. I did play g5, and my opponent played a3. I think a3 is just kind of silly, though, because I kind of want to take, so I did. Computer approves. Okay, we normally don't give up the two bishops, but I'm playing a light square strategy this game. Okay, I'm going to try and trade off the light square bishop and maybe attack if I get more development. So the queen took, that was the point of queen c2, but it does spend tempos. Okay, now I played e4. I'm guessing this is correct. We'll see what the computer says. Wow, it likes d4 better. All right, I did not consider that, which I should have. This looks like a normal move. Queen b3. Castle. Yeah, I like black here. I like black center. Definitely like black center. Okay, end of here, trying to break down the center. It says we win. Okay, what? Knight a6 wins? Knight a6 and knight bd7 win, and I think it's because we're getting way ahead in development now, and we have a nice center. If white threatens to open, we have things like rook e8 check. Okay, I get it. So it breaks principle to play d3, opening the game when you're not developed. Yeah, in the actual game, my opponent played this move, which I also think is lack of foundation. Okay, you moved your queen twice. And now you moved it a third time, so there better be a very good reason. Except I don't see a very good reason. Right? The queen went here, here, and here. What exactly is your threat? I mean, it's a check, so what? I get to play bishop e6, blocking the check, and this is a move I want to play anyway. I want to guard my center. So, not only that, I'm preparing queen d7 with this idea after the knight moves. Actually, it has to go here. Okay. Now they took. This is probably also not good. Opening up the game when you're not developed. Black is only one stage away from castling. White is, I think, kind of 3 stages away. They probably have to play here, here, and then only then can they castle. So they shouldn't play a move like taking the pawn. Okay, they retreated the queen. The queen's not even good here, so I like black. I mean, I'm going to stick my knight on the best square, play rook c8, and make my opponent nervous, castle, and then have a look around for a very aggressive play because I'm better developed. Okay, knight c6. So e3 with the idea of this. We discussed that. Rook c8. I want to see what the computer says. Yeah, both rook c8 and castles are good, but I kind of like rook c8 because I just want to make my opponent nervous. This is like when you're playing against a human, you might get them to play a bad move as a result. So now I should probably just castle. I don't think the discoveries are anything, by the way. Like if here they just take, that's not, you know, if here they just take, and if this they take, like if here they take, and this is way too slow, so all of it's kind of pointless. So it's best to leave the tension. So I castled. Okay, they castled, and now I was thinking about more light square play. Like I think if I could simply get rid of this light square bishop, then things like a queen transfer and knight g4 start to become very threatening. Even knight here, knight into the f3 square. So yeah, I mean, I'm being consistent in saying, yeah, I played bishop takes knight, thinking about the light squares, and that is what I'm still thinking about. So okay, I played queen to d7. Knight to f4. I think that's a good move, actually. That's annoying. I do not want him to take my light square bishop. On the other hand, that's a good knight. But in a position like this, where you are better developed and have attacking chances, like I don't think white is threatening my king whatsoever. So I can consider a move like g5. And kick away this knight, which doesn't have any nice options except for this. And it will take time to reroute. So I played bishop to g4. I want the knight to stay there. I actually thought h3 might be good here. Yeah. Let's just look at h3 for a second. If h3, I thought I would do this, but I wasn't sure about it. You know, if they do this, now g5 must be strong. Am I wrong? Oh, it's not my turn. Oh, king h2. Yeah, king h2 because I want to play g5, queen takes h3. So the king would defend. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess if I really want to trade light square bishops, this is the way to do it. And computer likes black, so this is correct. It's so... I love chess and how I can learn every single game no matter what. I've been playing this for years now, but I never stop learning new things. What a great game. Okay, I digress. All right, queen d7, knight f4, and bishop g4. Now, computer says d3 is the correct move. My opponent played d4. Now, this is a bit of a critical moment, I think, because I'm tempted to play en passant. But if I do that, I open up the bishop a little more on my weak pawn, and the knight could potentially recapture. And the knight would be well placed there also. And so you have to wonder if this is right. It feels like white's, white is almost developed. They only have this bishop left now. So I actually felt like taking en passant is wrong. Let's see what the computer says. It says, sure, it's okay, but black is still slightly better after queen to d2. Discoveries are coming into play. So queen to d2, getting out of the way of the rook. And saying that, these pawns are isolated and weak. I don't even have to take it right now. And I agree with that. So en passant was not looking good. So computer wants g5. I was wondering if I played that. Okay, I played discovery, knight e5. Second best move according to the computer. I had to calculate a little here, but I think it all works out for me. After queen takes rook, which is possible, I thought I could play check. And then if the bishop does take, I think I take the queen first. And I thought if they take here, this must be good for me because I could take with a queen or a knight. If I take with the queen, the idea is this. I'm going to play g5 and kick away the knight, go here, here, and say checkmate. I mean, of course, white will do stuff to stop that, but it looks pretty powerful. So I thought that line was good for me. Computer agrees. And if they take the knight, I have to now take the queen. I actually thought this might be okay for white, but it's not, I guess. Okay, b takes c3. I thought my knight was weird here. Oh, knight h5 is strong. Knight e8 is strong too. I only saw knight to e8. But computer says black is good here. I'm kind of surprised. But there's weak pawns. Oh, okay. That's why. There's weak pawns and we have a good center. And the knight is going to come to c7, where it can attack things or reroute here. Yeah, computer says minus 2.7. It's hard for me to know that, but I guess, we do have a queen after all. And this bishop is pretty anemic right now. I'd be pretty desperate to play like this if I was white. Okay. So knight e5 is justified. My opponent played queen a5. All right, if they're thinking that this is a real threat, I have to shake my head because they need to get more developed. I'm getting a lot of pieces near their king side, and I'm going to trade that light square bishop if I can. All right, so I went... Oh, wow. Computer said b6 is the best move. I missed this, but I like it. It defends the pawn and attacks the queen again. And the queen would have to go back to e1, it says. Now I would play this without thinking, because now we're going to trade bishops. And a bishop on f3 or f6 is always very strong for attacks, checkmating attacks. Now g5 queen here is going to be fatal. So I think black's winning, and computer agrees. Okay, so b6. Wow. b6 was very strong. I should have seen that move. I did not see it. I played check instead, and he played king h1. I agree with that. And now g5. Computer doesn't even list g5. It still likes b6, and it likes rook to c2. Okay, so I had tunnel vision. I was starting to foam at the mouth because my knight is over here, my bishop's here, and I have like stuff ready to come in. So I really focused on the king side, to be honest with you. Not saying that rook c2 is strong. I'm placing a rook on the second rank, and I'm tying down their rook. Yeah, this looks very good. This is an attacking move and just a good move in general. b6 is also good for the same reason as before. But I played g5, and computer still says black is winning here. I was expecting knight to e2 here, and I was going to go probably bishop h3. If they take, I think they're lost. How do you defend? It looks really hard. Yeah, so you cannot take. And if you take this way, again, I think this is really risky. I'd probably take here, place my bishop here next, and then place my queen here. Something like that. Looks winning. So, you know, the light square strategy has succeeded in these lines, and I'm going to win on the light squares. Okay, so check, king h1, and g5 is actually fine, even though there are better moves. And now h3 was played. I actually like this. This is a good practical choice by my opponent. It's not the best move, but it's the trickiest move. I have to calculate and see what I'm doing here, but I thought almost for sure I need to take the knight. So I took him. He took back. But now queen takes g4. And it's hard to imagine a situation where white doesn't get checkmated. My opponent took here, but this just gives up the light squares even worse. I could probably take with a queen and this must be winning, but I took with a pawn. We're gonna do Lolly's mate, right? The pawn guards g2, and I'm gonna do this, checkmate. Not only that, but I thought queen h3, knight g4, and I have my choice of checkmates. So he took back, but this is over. Check, here, checkmate. So I hope you enjoyed this game. It was a nice one for me. I have now reached my highest rating ever on chess.com by quite a bit, 1740. So I guess I'm on my way to 1800, and since there's no OTB to prove that I'm getting better at chess, I feel like improving my chess.com rating by 100 points is kind of proving it. So I'm going to continue, and I'll see you next time. All right, thanks for watching if you did. Bye.